I forgot it one time before, never again. All right, we good, bro. All right, so first of all, who are you, bro?
Yes, my name is Ryan. I live in Texas. 18. I in college though, community college. I own an OnlyFans agency. Been doing that for about 4 or 5 months now, and do ecom on the side as well. Ecom game, been in it for a while, but I've been focusing more on the OF agency for the time being.
What got you into like online business in general?
I think it was a few years back, um, where I had a page on Instagram that had like 100, 200K followers. And I was just thinking, I was probably like
You owned it?
14. Yeah, yeah, owned it. 14, 15 at the time. And I was like, okay, how can I make money from this? And then I kind of searched through some ways, and then drop shipping came up. And this was like 2017, where it was relatively easy. Um, so yeah, I got into that, made a store, and then whenever I was marketing it, it was just being targeted to I already had, so I didn't have to pay for any ads. It was just
Yeah,
through that account.
that's dope, bro. What was it like a theme page or something?
It was a soccer page. I pretty much posted like soccer videos, and it was actually a poppin' niche. Well, just sports in general obviously get a lot of attraction. So it did pretty well and ended up getting disabled like a year after, but that's pretty much what got me into the whole ecom business kind of wave.
So you started it, you said 14.
Yeah, I want to say 14 or 15.
Did you start with like any major amount of money? You just hopped into it.
Yeah, it was literally just kind of a thing where I posted those videos just out of enjoyment, like in my free time. And then it was like, yeah, okay, I'm at the point where I have a lot of followers. Like, surely I could do something with this. So just researched some ways and got into it that way.
Okay. Okay. Well, tell me about the time you made like the most amount of money in one day, and how much was that?
Hmm. Well, it had to have been pretty recently. I would say like a few weeks ago or even like a month ago. One of my models had a really good day, and it's because she had a tweet and a TikTok do really well.
This
And
is
it
the
was,
OnlyFans agency. Right?
yeah, yeah. So when doing that, you kind of manage their socials, you manage the OF themselves, and then, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much all of that. And on the socials, on the tweet, and through the TikTok, it was just a banger day. I don't really know what it was, you know? You just got banger days like that sometimes.
Hmm.
So just one of those days, and looking back at it, like, yeah, it was a pretty good day, but I also learned a lot. It was probably around like 5 or 6K, and that's not taking out like the OnlyFans portion that they take out. So maybe a little less than that, but it was around there. And when doing that, you learn a lot about how you can replicate those days. So pretty
How
eye
did it
opening.
feel like once you just hit that number and like seeing it on the dashboard? How did you feel during that moment?
It felt pretty good. I felt like it was deserving. It felt pretty good because prior to that, I was really focusing on increasing the views, and then we were also at a point where we were kind of stuck with the audience, and it was like, okay, we got to try out something different. So I changed some things up. I changed sort of the posting of the content, and it did well. And then that's exactly what I was saying is how I learned that, yeah, okay, this is doing well. I'm pretty much just gonna retarget this or scale that up.
And for the people who don't have any idea what an OnlyFans agency is, because you go into like the basics of it and like what it even is. Because I
Yeah,
know when I first
so
heard it,
yeah. Of course, the image of like an OnlyFans agency is maybe you might think like, okay, you can make so much money with this, or maybe you might think, okay, surely there's like no money with this. That's kind of the image that I've had when I'm explaining it to some people. They kind of think that you're just within the OF itself and you're kind of guiding them on what to do, but you're really doing like 90% of the work. So this comes down to requesting the content from the girl herself, and then you're going to post that onto these platforms, the main platforms, which is
Yeah.
Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and then we also do Reddit, um, platforms like that, just the main platforms. And you guys probably already know that with TikTok, you know how easy it is to grow from
Yeah.
0 to 10K. Probably the
So
easiest out of any
smash.
platform. Yeah, literally, that's all you got to do. It's a little more complex than that, actually. But you're doing that, and then within the OF itself, well, that's how you're going to generate traffic, of course, is by posting your content and then directing it to the OnlyFans itself. Within the OnlyFans itself, that's
Yeah.
actually
Hold
not
on.
where, yeah, go
What is it? Like, are you like a pimp? Like, what you be doing?
ahead.
You beat the girls up or something? Like, like,
Pretty much, I'm just telling her, okay, look, today we got this amount of subscribers, or today, like, we got this amount of earnings. And I'm like, okay, based off of those results for the next day, I'm gonna need this kind of content.
okay,
Um,
so you just like you lead her along, and you already know it's gonna work. So she just makes the
yeah,
content. You tell her what
yeah,
content to make and where to put it and all that.
pretty much. I mean, this kind of applies with any sort of, I guess you call it like side hustle or anything that you want to do, even like
Yeah,
with ecom, with pretty much anything. So what I'm doing first is I'm looking at her audience and I'm seeing other creators within her audience. So an example is she's a Latina, and what I'll do is I'll look at other Latina creators and I'll
yeah.
see, okay, like this works pretty good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have her do the same exact thing. And if it works for me, then I'm gonna keep doing that. So you could do that with pretty much anything though. You kind of find out what's working. You're in the testing phase, so you find out what's working and then you go from there.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm. What like softwares or like tools do you use to help you see success in the agency?
Outside of OnlyFans itself, there's really not a lot. It does kind of get complex where I do have to buy proxies for these different IPs and these different social medias that have to go on there. There is
Like
also,
Bumble and things like that?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So if I wanted to run like 40 Bumble accounts on one proxy, it would get kind of hard, and I would have to pay a reoccurring subscription for me to maintain that proxy. If that makes sense.
okay. Yeah, because I did watch a YouTube video and someone was describing like how he gets a bunch of like dudes from Bumble. And I was
Yeah,
it
I
was
literally,
funny.
it's funny that you say that because I had a model, and basically with Bumble is, like you guys know Bumble, it's just a dating app.
It's like
It's like,
Tinder.
yeah, like Tinder, you swipe
Yeah,
and shit and you like chat and yeah. So whenever they swipe and then a baddie matches them, they're like, oh shit, I just matched a baddie, which would be my OnlyFans model. And then I mean, the OnlyFans girl on there, like her profile, it's just normal. Like I direct it to the Instagram. I obviously can't say like, here's my OnlyFans link. Like, nah. I direct it to the Instagram, which I make the Instagram presentable. I make it look like, she's real, she's legit. She kind of got some clout, but then they're gonna go on the Instagram DMs and they're gonna be like, "Oh, I matched with you on Bumble," and obviously we're not responding to that shit. So what'll happen is they'll get so frustrated that they can't really match with her. They'll go on the OnlyFans. And you
yeah.
might think like that's a pretty long process, but I promise you it gets a lot of subscriptions.
Get some horny guys going crazy.
Yes. Especially if you got like a 10 out of 10 model.
If someone's like just starting or they're like thinking about getting into it, what advice would you have for them? And what's like the first step they could take?
Honestly, I would first get educated on sort of the process that you're gonna have to go through. It's really not a thing where you can kind of just like walk in, take over, and just make money from there. I used to think it was that way, which is why I got into it, but No, it was pretty hard. What I would say is find find some creators that you think that might be having some trouble, and you'll see these signs whether either on Instagram or Twitter or any platform, their views are kind of low, or maybe even their quality of content is just not the best.
Yeah.
That's a good opportunity that you could take advantage of. And then you'll pretty much go in and say, okay, look, I do this and this can help you. And here's my offer. And then they'll either be like, yeah, or they'll be like, no. And you're going to get obviously a lot of no's before you get a single yes. So it's going to be a mental journey through that, getting rejected a lot, but it's a part of the game.
What platforms should they reach out on? Like Twitter, TikTok, what would you say is the best one?
It's kind of difficult. I mean, obviously, every single platform has their pros and cons. I would say not Twitter. Reason being is because just from experience with my OnlyFans model, her Twitter DMs are
Oh,
just crazy to keep it short, they're just insane. Let me put
yeah.
it like this. So before I even like look at the message, it'll say like media, and I'm not even gonna click on the media. I'm just gonna say that. That's how the Twitter DMs are like. So I would say not Twitter. Now you could find good models on Twitter, but do not message them through there. I promise you, like
Okay.
90% of them don't even check their DMs anyway. That's why they have me, of course. So,
Yeah. So you see all the images.
yeah, I would say Instagram is pretty good. A tip that I would say with Instagram is if you're starting off, just honestly, like how I got my first model, I literally rizzed her up. Not anything crazy riz, like literally just like talking about her OF because I noticed that she was new, which I was saying if you see that she's kind of new or you see her quality of content is low, that's an opportunity you could take advantage of. So I
Mhm.
directed that towards her, and that's pretty much how I got my first model. What I will
What did
say
you
is,
like offer her?
mhm,
Like once you said she's new, how could you
yeah.
help her? What did you say?
So I'll be honest, I think I shot from some guy who was making like 30, 40K a month. And
Hmm.
I pretty much said, look, this is my model. And I sent her the screenshot. And I was like, I could do this for you. And then a lot of girls also, the problem being is once you get the OnlyFans guys to subscribe, like your job's not done. That's actually like phase one of the job. So a lot of the money comes from the messages itself. So within the
Mm,
messages, you'll have an option on there. It's like pay per view if you want to see the content, and you won't be able to see the content. It'll be like blurred out. You can only see it if you pay for it. That's where
yeah.
80% of the money comes in. And the thing with a lot of these girls is they're not going to be sitting for hours like chatting to horny guys when they have like hundreds of DMs they got to go through.
Yeah.
So that's a problem that you have a solution for. So that's really what you're doing is you're saying, oh, I bet you have hundreds of DMs from those guys. Let me take care of that for you and make you money on top of that.
So
So,
what you offered was to take away all the chatting in the OnlyFans itself.
yeah, obviously, as an agency, we do everything, but that's
Yeah.
just what I'm telling her and I'm directing towards her that I could take this away from you, which is a big problem for her.
Okay. That makes sense. Um, I know we talked about it before, just for the other people. So you don't necessarily chat yourself. You're not texting these dudes yourself, are
Yeah,
you?
no, definitely not. What I will do though is I'll maintain the chatting and I'll see, how things are going. I'll see like who's spending the most money, stuff like that. But who does chat for me is I outreach to chatters pretty much overseas where the dollar goes far, is what I'll say. Um, and that's how you'll get your chatters. And you could even be up to like 24 hours and you're paying them like, I'll just say like $3 an hour.
Yeah.
And they do get a commission
Three
of it.
dollars an hour
So
is crazy.
yeah, that's what's a dollar go far. Yeah.
Who do you have? Like you find like contractors, or do you hire an agency to do it?
So as for the contract and the legal terms, what I did is I pretty much just hit an attorney And I was like, look, I already have this contract template. I just want you to kind of review it and make sure it's okay. Now, what I will say if you're doing this is definitely don't be overpaying for attorneys. Like, I don't even think I paid less than like, I don't know, $30, $40. I might even have been overpaying there. So don't
Yeah.
be letting these guys take your money like that with just like a simple contract. Pretty much just states that you guys are both protected, so she's gonna pay you, and from her side is that you're not gonna take her content and sell it anywhere outside of OnlyFans for your own benefit. If that makes sense.
Yeah, not on another site or make some money or like
Yeah,
other accounts.
yeah,
Okay, so for someone just starting, they need to reach out on Instagram. They need to tell the model, "Oh, I could benefit you in this way. Take away these problems." For example,
yep.
take away the chatting, and then doing that. Um, how would you scale that business? Like, say you have one model and you want to get another one. What could you do?
Right. So at first, what I would say is I definitely want you to take it a little slow, and I want you to focus on that one model that you do have. Make it
Okay,
to the
so
point.
don't rush it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Make it to the point where you've already found out what pieces of content work well. Like you know the algorithms, you know that okay, this post is working, so I'm gonna keep replicating posts like that, and I'm just gonna switch little things up, but it should still work because it's the same kind of. That makes sense. And you're gonna
Yeah,
focus on that. You're gonna get to the point where you really don't have to do much because you've already gone past the hard stuff. So everything is kind of
finding what
automated
works.
for you. Yeah,
That's the hard stuff. Okay.
yeah. Finding what works, definitely. Once you're at the point where these subscribers are already like daily and consistent, um, then you're chilling. Then you already have the results, and then you can go outreach to other models and use those results as leverage for your outreach.
Okay. So just send them like, I did this for this model. I can probably do the same for you. Something
Exactly.
along those lines. Okay.
And a lot of the times where you're doing that, what I will do is I'll have her Twitter account, which is has like 40, 50K. It's nothing crazy, honestly. But
Mhm.
what'll happen is
Shit,
I'll go
my
on that.
Twitter is 23.
But what I'll say is like I'll go on Twitter and I'll act like I'm the girl. I'll reach out to other models. I'll be like, "Oh my god, you're so pretty," or some shit that girls say. Y'all know how girls are. I'll say some shit like that, and I'll just get the conversation going. I'll be like, "Oh, do you do all this by yourself?" And I'll be like, "Girl, you don't need to do all that," stuff like that.
Yeah,
And I'll act like I'm the girl, and then I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I have a manager," and then you're in, bro.
that's kind of smart. I'm not gonna lie. That is for me.
Yeah,
I fuck with that.
like a lot of my models.
Yeah. Do you see yourself doing this for a while?
Like
Like for a
what
few years?
OnlyFans will look at in a couple of years, I'm not sure if it's anything too sustainable. What I'll say
Yeah.
is that the number of creators coming in are increasing more than ever. But obviously, anything could change, especially when dealing in like a field like this. Anything could change. I mean, even like, one day I woke up and I saw that, Trump is going to take TikTok off or something. Like anything could change. So what
Yeah.
I'll say is that at this moment, I'm really looking to get the most out of it. And if things slow down, I'm just gonna have to adapt to it. If there's another site that wants to compete with OnlyFans, I don't know if you guys heard of it. It's called Fansly. It's definitely lower than OnlyFans, but it is a competitor. So let's say
Yeah.
that gets a lot more traction than OnlyFans, I'm gonna have to adapt to that. And yeah.
Would you ever do another agency? Or you just gonna stick to that and
Well,
ecom?
okay. Well, with ecom, it's pretty much at the point where it's automated, so and it's pretty much at like I already know what to do. I kind of already know what works, and ecom is really seasonal. So whenever those seasons do come around, though, like Q4 is the last quarter of the year, which is the point from like September, November, December, or maybe a month before that. But that's Q4. And
Yeah,
there's certain products and certain things that pop off, and you're really
uh,
just rinse and repeating each year.
that's really the month shoes go crazy too. Like, I mean, the quarter shoes go crazy. Like back to
Yeah,
school to Christmas, shoes just fly, bro.
yeah, that makes sense.
But now let's get into a little more ecom because I'm
Hmm.
interested in that. I'm not gonna lie.
Hmm.
Um, have you ever made a store you thought would like pop off immediately, but it ended up failing?
Yeah, definitely. The thing with ecom is that there's so many variables, which like, let me give an example. Let's say
Mhm.
your website is really good, okay, top quality, um, optimized, landing page is amazing, stuff like that.
Yeah,
But you're not getting any attraction towards that, which might mean your creative is bad, your ad is bad, or it could mean your offer is bad. There's a lot of different variables like that where if one thing messes up, it's kind of stressful to navigate past that. But I will say that it's really easy to read the metrics and analyze, like, okay, this is off. I know exactly what's wrong with it. I know exactly what I got to fix.
okay. So for your like first stores or the stores that you would say are like your biggest failures, what was the reason they failed?
Probably just lack of experience. I feel like when we talk about ecom, let me get a little more specific. I do drop shipping,
Okay.
and the image of drop shipping is probably one of the worst out there right now. It is
Yeah.
really bad. I mean, it's terrible. Like, nobody thinks drop shipping is legit. Everyone thinks like it doesn't work. And look, you could say drop shipping, like the word as is, because it is the business model. You don't have inventory, you're drop shipping the product. But
Yeah.
you're really creating an online business and it has to be professional. And obviously, people who only have like $100 starting off don't know how to make a site, don't know what it takes to make a good creative. Like, they're obviously gonna fail because you're creating a business. So that's why they'll fail and then they'll be like, oh, this shit is saturated or something like that.
Yeah, they'll give up really quick because it's a
Yeah.
lot of pieces. Like dropshipping has
Yeah,
so many pieces to it.
exactly.
What piece do you feel you're best at? Like what's something that makes your stores stand apart?
I would say I have a really good landing page. I know what it takes. I've seen like bad conversion rates where I've gotten a lot of people onto my site, but they're just not buying. And
Yeah.
I've gotten past that point where I've seen, okay, my conversion rate is actually so good that it's not getting enough traffic. Things
Mm.
like that. Really making that optimized site where all they have to do is just buy, but you're really ensuring that trust in your store that you're legit.
What makes a good landing page, in your opinion?
Yeah. So the first thing, there's a lot of variables. The first thing I would say, colors actually have a lot to do with it. You don't got to overthink it, but you just want to make sure that your color codes are um,
Hold on, I was gonna
set.
say something. For the
Uh-huh.
audience, write this down. If you're listening, write this down. But continue.
um, yeah, for the colors, again, don't overthink it, but just make sure kind of looks catchy. You can't have like opposite colors and have like a rainbow on your page, something like that. But make it look nice. Make sure the font looks nice. Um, you want to reinstate your offer. So let me give an example. One of my friends is doing this like thong for ladies, and his offer is really good. It's a buy one get one free, which in ecom,
No.
the main offer that you have is really like something simple. It's probably like free shipping, and then you're always gonna have that discount at like 50 or 60% off, no matter what.
Yeah.
You're always gonna have that. That's really the normal offer that a lot of ecom dudes starting off have. This guy, he's got a buy one get one free, and you're really going to want to reinstate that. How you can reinstate that? So the first thing they do when they open up your landing page and they haven't even scrolled yet, you're going to have not a pop-up, but it's going to be, I don't know if you've seen like those top banners, the very top
Yeah.
like line at the site. You're going to have it there. It's going to say buy one get one free, and then you could even have it in the product images where you have images that say like, oh, what's included in the box, and then it'll reinstate like, you're getting
Mhm.
another one for free. Um, And then there's also little things like that where you can reinstate your offer. That's the first thing I would say, is that your offer is key. Because how are you going to differentiate yourself from other competitors is if your offer is good. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of these saturated products. I'm gonna put you on, or tell me what's a product that you've seen blow up on TikTok that you're just looking at everywhere?
That little thing you throw and it comes back to
Oh, yeah, it's like it's I forgot those things. I forgot what it's called, but I know what you're talking about, and I hope that
you.
the audience knows what you're talking about as well. So
Or those
obviously, when there's
balls that stick to the ceiling.
yeah, okay. So with products like that, and there's so many people selling it, what's gonna make your site or your creative better than your competitors? And the one thing it'll be is probably your offer. So you're more gonna have a chance of buying something that says buy one get one free, or maybe even buy one get one 50% off than just the regular standard price. So
It, it's the same with shoes too. Like you're selling the same exact product.
yeah, honestly, I think when you used to sell some things, I think I bought like some sweatpants off you.
Yeah,
Literally,
some Nike
probably the only
sweatpants.
reason I bought from you was probably because you said there was gonna be free shipping. So it's little things like that.
That's crazy. That was an old ass business too, bro.
Yeah,
That was before I even made my shoe business. It's crazy.
little things like that go a long way.
Would there be anything else on the plate? Like, what's your idea of like trust badges or like some shit like that?
Yeah. Um, One thing I will say is whenever you're having a product and you know it's a winner, or maybe even you just want to test it, you'll look at your competitors' sites and you'll just see different ways where you can make yours better than theirs. As for like trust badges, maybe even like pop-ups or things like that, look, just keep it simple. I do have a trust badge. It's like a payment processor. It says like we accept, all these like payment processors like Visa, MasterCard, all that. And that's really all I have. Um, you kind of got to get a little creative with it as for like bringing trust onto your page. One thing you could do with that will be reviews. A lot of people have like standard reviews. Every review looks normal, I guess, or maybe even looks stolen. So you
Yeah,
could
they
do like
wrote.
a yeah, you could do like a testimonial, testimonial, which that word means a lot more than just a review. So
I
it's like
like
little
I
things
like
like
that.
that.
Yeah, I've never heard anyone say that before.
Yeah, it's
What
kind
was
of hard.
the
Uh,
biggest store you made, bro?
Biggest score I made was last Q4, which
Oh,
was a Christmas product. It was actually just a Christmas mug. It literally was a mug, and it was directed towards an audience, two audiences actually. One of the mug was a customized mug, so you could pretty much put anything on there.
yeah.
Um, and you might think like, okay, I see customized mugs everywhere, like how the fuck are you selling that? So my
Yeah,
creative was really good. I hired these two people. I think it's like a wife and husband. So
mhm.
the wife surprised the husband, and it was like something funny on there. I forgot what it was. It was something funny on there, and then it's just like a funny video, and everyone was like, "Oh, I need this," or "Oh, I have the perfect idea. I could do this like my brother or sister," something like that, and it was perfectly good for the holiday season. My offer was also at
Hold
that
on.
point I
Where'd
didn't really
you
know.
find those people? Like, where'd you find those wife and husband? I don't mean to
Yeah,
interrupt you.
yeah, no, that's cool.
Like that.
Um, Whenever you want custom content, which is actually expanded. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the term UGC, but it's user generated content. And there's a lot of these creators on TikTok who literally just like kind of vlog like their everyday life, or they do like product reviews, or they do like, shit like do my makeup with me, something like that. And what brands will do is they'll reach out to them because they obviously make good quality videos, good quality reviews as well.
Yeah.
So they'll reach out to them and they'll pay some pretty good money, to be honest. Like to be a creator, it's some pretty good money whenever you're talking about brand endorsements, stuff like that. So you can find them through there. You can find them through like Fiverr is pretty good too. Fiverr taxes a lot, but
Yeah.
yeah, things like that.
So you would say like the biggest reason that store was successful was because of that custom content you made, or was there another reason?
It was a mix of the product itself and the offers. So
Okay.
someone
Not even
told
the
me
content.
someone told me I used to think this was the other way around. So what they told me is that the product drives the sales more than anything, more than your video, more than your offer, more than your creative, um, more than anything. I used to think it was the other way around. I think that if you can make a really good video, if you had a really good offer, then you could sell this product, right?
Yeah.
Um, I learned that even if you do the opposite, kind of, so if you have a really bad site, if you have a really bad creative, if you have a really bad anything, and your product is still like something really nice, solves a problem, it's appealing to the eye, people are still going to buy it, even if you're creative and the site is bad. Whereas if you have a bad product, maybe a um decent site, a decent
Yeah.
ad, it'll do well for sure, but it won't drive it up as much as, a really good product.
That's good to think about. Like that's really I
Yeah,
didn't
I
even
just think it
know
was the opposite. Yeah.
because you could have like a pill that solves every issue, like every health issue in the world, but terrible marketing, that's still gonna fly off the shelves just because it's a
Yeah,
good
for sure.
product.
It'll still do well.
Yeah.
And I feel
What
like
what was your offer on that store?
I was gonna say that's when I didn't really know about good offers and stuff like that.
Oh,
The main reason why it appealed to be so good was just because it was a seasonal product, it's a Christmas product. You could really write like anything you wanted on there. We didn't have any censorship. So you could even include an image on there, I think. And maybe the offer, maybe this had to do with the offer, is that if you wanted to add like another image or something, or you wanted to like change the color or something, we would charge a little extra. Maybe that had to do with it. I don't know.
that's cool. Um, what do you like more, the agency or ecom?
It's kind of hard. Yeah, that's really difficult. Right now, I would probably say I'm having a little more fun with the agency just because whenever you're in that process of like you're seeing growth, it's pretty motivating to like keep growing, if that makes sense. Like you're in the moment kind of thing. You got that like adrenaline almost where like yeah, I'm just having fun with that right now. Ecom will always be there. Ecom will never die, I promise.
Yeah,
Um,
it's only gonna
things
get
will
bigger.
change. Things will change. Trends will change. Things will happen like that, but it'll never die.
And going back to like that, you said like it's fun, like seeing progress. You know, I was
Yeah.
watching a YouTube video the other day, and it was this black dude. He was
Hmm.
going over like it's fun to see progress. Like if you're not having fun in the business, it's because you're not seeing any progress.
Right.
And the reason you don't see progress is just you have to figure out what's not working. You know,
Right.
that, that's
Yeah, I agree with that. That's probably going back to my point where a lot of people kind of fail after their first store. Like they obviously didn't see the progress, or maybe they just didn't have the determination to learn from their failures, or something like that. So, yeah, I try to tell people that if you want to get into this stuff, like you really have to have a drive for it more than anything, because that's going to keep you up.
what kept you going after your first store. 'Cause I'm sure it wasn't too successful.
Um, yeah, I'm not sure. I think it was just that I still had my followers and I still had the audience. So it was like, okay, this product isn't doing well, but I still have this audience and I can still make money off of it. So I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna try again. I was young and I was like a freshman in high school, I think. And I just kept going.
Do you remember like what those first products were?
Yeah, I remember exactly. So if you guys are just coming in or something, or anyone that didn't hear this, in the beginning, when I first started, I had a soccer page that I grew up where I posted soccer videos, stuff like that. And obviously, my products had to be centered around soccer itself. So I
Yeah,
had this waistband kind of thing, and it had like a string attached to it, and it would have a ball on there. And you would just kick the ball, and it would come back to you at your feet. So it would help you practice your touch, practice just your technique, things like that. And it was pretty convenient because I mean, you could take it anywhere. You could even do it in your room. Like
yeah,
if you
no,
kick
that's
the
kind of
ball,
cool.
it's gonna come back to you. So I did that, and that was the first store I made. That product did okay. Like it obviously didn't do well because my site was probably really bad.
Yeah, it was
And
your first one.
yeah, first store did okay, and then second store after that, I think around that time, I want to say like I don't know if you guys remember this, but Supreme Patty, he did that
Yeah,
like free chain or maybe something to do with the shrimp. I think it was like a shrimp on a chain or something like that. But he did free
he,
chains.
he like really put me on to that shit because he was the first person I saw doing like everything
Yeah.
free, just pay for shipping.
So
Like,
that's when I talk about how your offer has to be really good. Because if he didn't do it for free and people were just like, damn, like, I don't want to, pay $20 for this chain. Like, this is probably some cheap ass quality chain.
yeah,
So what he did was, okay, it's for free on the site, but then he made all his money from shipping and he would still make profit from that, trust me.
he
And
probably made a
that's,
lot, bro.
yeah,
Like,
when I talk about how your offers got to be really good, like, got to give it to him, man. Like, no one was doing it like that.
you know, that's wild. And so for your like e-com stores, what apps do you use? Like Shopify, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you're gonna be creating everything, importing everything through Shopify. Shopify makes it pretty easier. I just haven't seen anything apart from that you could do it off of. So through Shopify with the apps, as I've said, most of the apps are gonna be used for your website. So there's different things you could do on there, like if you want to add like a bundle option or email marketing, like a pop-up.
What
I don't know.
apps would you use for like email marketing and like pop-ups,
So the
if
best
you know?
one is called Klaviyo. You guys might have heard of it. Probably the best one. It's pretty hard to navigate, especially if you're just starting off. Like it's pretty hard to navigate. I haven't even like gotten the most out of it for sure. Usually, whenever stores are doing well, they hire an expert within email marketing. Um, yeah, which I might do depending on if some stores do well and Q4 is like having a bunch of stores and I need some help with it, I might do that. But don't focus on that too hard right now. Whenever testing, email marketing is really only good whenever you're retargeting your customers. So you already have customers that bought from you and you want to get them to buy again. That's where the email marketing will come in. And then I know with clothing brands like the email list, a lot of people will do
Oh
good.
yeah,
I
you
will
need that.
say, if you're doing a clothing brand, if you ever see a clothing brand and they get your email, you want to make sure that that first email that you're sending out to all those people that signed up, that email is good and you have a good offer. Again, with the offer, I'm just keep repeating, but offer is key.
What makes a good offer?
Well, with clothing, the main thing that gets people to buy is probably the price. It's either the price or the actual like piece of content itself that you really like. But you can kind of get creative with it. You could do, I know people have like sets. So like, I don't know,
Yeah,
if you buy a hoodie, you know, the set that comes with it that matches with it, maybe it's either the sweatpants or it could be like a beanie or something like that. You make it a little less than the hoodie, so they kind of have together because it'll obviously look nice together. Um, Little things like that. I think as a clothing brand, you just want to make sure that your customers or your audience they feel appreciated. So like your packaging is pretty decent. You can even go further and like add in some extra stickers or something, little stuff like that. I don't know, you guys are so, or even me too. Obviously, everyone's just so used to, like opening their Amazon package, the product is
yeah.
there, but What if, it's packaged nicely, it's got a note in there, something like that.
They
Be
just get
creative
that
with it.
one day Amazon shipping.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, like, I would ship
Yeah.
shoes out. They would take like a week and a half. People on my ass. I'm like, damn.
And then if that happens and people are on you, you're like, okay, my bad, bro. Your next purchase, I'll give you like 50%, 15% off.
Yeah,
So even if something bad happens, like you could still get them to come back to you.
that's smart. Especially if the biggest thing you want to do is try to get that repeat customer.
Exactly. Clothing
Like,
brands, that's key.
yeah, look at like what's like a brand you wear a lot.
I mean, pretty much just like the normal everyday brands, Nike got some other off-branded stuff, just like some vintage pieces. I don't know. I don't really go crazy with that.
I got you, but like look at like Nike. Like you bought multiple Nike pieces over time. Like
Yeah.
maybe you've had one bad experience, but you keep coming back because the product is outstanding.
Yeah, exactly. You just know what you're getting every time.
Mhm. My next question for you is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, do you even see yourself doing the agency or even doing ecom?
It's kind of hard to say in 5 years. If everything plans out right, which probably won't happen, but if my vision does happen, then I'd have some multiple high-end streams of income. And when I say high-end, it's obviously not like drop shipping or like things like this. It's more about like acquiring equity in businesses or real estate, real high-end stuff, or maybe it's even like a lot of people do well renting out supercars. So if I get rich like that, I'm renting out a couple of my supercars and I'm making my money back within my first year. And then after that, it's just passive. Like I want those big high end passive streams of income for sure. See myself not sure whether I want to like either move out of my city, something like that. Definitely want to travel, but also just help. I also just hope that I'm healthy, that my family's healthy, stuff like that.
You definitely have like the right vision, you know? Like I
Yeah.
would ask that to like someone and they'll say, oh, I want to go to college and get a nice job and live an average life.
Yeah. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if that's the life you want to live, bro, like I tell
Yeah,
everyone, like
that's
how I
what
said with ecom is that if you don't have the determination with this, that's perfectly fine, bro. Like everyone knows their dream. Like I really inspire you to just go for that thing that you want to do, because that's what's
I'll
gonna
be
drive
saying
you
I'm
more than anything.
crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta be a little bit crazy to not follow the path that society says is
Yeah,
okay, it's perfect. Like follow college, find a
for
job.
sure.
You know, you gotta be able to question it and see it.
Yeah.
What's your biggest distraction?
Right now, um, it might be the fact that I have so much time that I'm not using that time to my advantage, which maybe it's like I'm wandering on social media, or maybe it's just maybe I stayed in bed too late. Maybe like one day I want to watch a movie. Like, it's really about finding that consistency. And there's also nothing wrong with gratifying yourself towards those things, but just make sure that before you do that, you got everything that you wanted to do for that day done.
Yeah, for that time and stuff, I would read the 4 Hour Work Week. I
Yeah,
I would yeah,
it's gotta be my next book.
yeah. 'Cause that's one thing that helped me. And for me, it was like once I found something I could do 24 hours of the day,
Hmm.
that's when I stopped. Like I have too much time. It's like a switch. It's like now I have not enough time. Like I want to do so many things.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say that. Definitely once you find something to get you busy, you really won't have this problem.
the one thing that happened for me, it was when I learned how to like day trade. Like I studied that shit for like 8 hours a day. Just sat there,
Damn.
just like watching YouTube videos and looking at charts and shit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Have you ever been like that for something? Like something you just completely obsessed over?
That was kind of me with the OF at the beginning when I was outreaching towards these models. I mean, I was just set up for hours and hours a day, and it was frustrating for sure. And that's like the hardest part. But once you get past that, you'll be good. But this kind of applies with anything is that, as I said, with the OF, whenever I'm finding her audience and I'm testing out the different forms of content, that's the hardest part. But it's the same thing in stages of life where you want to do something or you want to work towards something. The beginning is always going to be the hardest. You're figuring out how this works, or maybe you're uneducated in it and you're getting educated in it. That's the hardest part, of course.
Mhm. What you mean by stages of life?
Maybe not stages of life, but just stages of either trying to get into something new, or maybe even in stages of life where, you're going through the education system for the first part of your life, and then the rest of your life is just working that job.
Mhm.
That could be a stage.
I just felt with the way you said that. I was like, that sounds good. The stages of life.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely worded that wrong, but hopefully you get what
No,
I'm saying though.
I felt with that. Mm, what do you think is the next stage after you're like super interested in something, you're failing, you're going through the learning curve? What do you believe is after that? Like after the first stage, what's the second?
Well, it's easy to say once you get past that, or maybe even once you fail, not to quit, which obviously easier said than done. Your emotions are really going to be drained. The fact that either you're failing, or maybe your emotions are on the flip side and you're really happy that you've just succeeded with your first store. Now, once you get past that first store, it's important to keep doing that so you have another store that does well, another store that does well. And that's going to be even harder. So, um, I got past that point, and it was really just really the trial and error, really all. Um, Looking back at it, like, yeah, it took me months, and maybe it could have taken me a shorter period of time, but I had that trial and error. I went through all the bad things, and also talked to some people within my space, which is important. Um, they gave me some tips and tricks on how to save some time on that.
You feel like connections are very important, like business and life?
Definitely, I'm kind of at the point where I'm looking to make more connections, but it's also kind of hard for me to provide value to like really high net worth individuals.
Yeah.
Um, that's something or an answer that I'm still struggling to get past.
What's the way you network and like expand the people you are in your relationships?
Pretty much, I just be upfront and kind of say like, look, this is what I do. Or even with OnlyFans, I'm like, yeah, I'm really good at Twitter. Maybe I can give you some tips on this if you give me some tips back for like another platform or something like that. Um, Naturally, just as a person, like you'll be better at one thing than another person, and for each person, it's different. So you're just kind of trading some game, keeping in touch with those people, um, and just growing from there.
Yeah, I fuck with that. I feel like I be doing the same thing, like especially because I'm good at TikTok. I'll always offer like, because you teach me this, I'll teach you how to be good at TikTok. I'll teach you like my
Yeah,
secrets to TikTok. I've
yeah, exactly.
used that way too much recently,
Yeah, but that's like,
especially fucking the brand owners. That's like my
yeah, but
main thing.
you got the solution to a lot of people's problems, which is important.
No, yeah, yeah. Mhm. What's like the biggest connection you say you have? Like, do you have any high network connections?
I do. I mean, I wouldn't know if I would call it like a, I guess it's a connection, but it's not really at a point where like I kind of speak with him every day, kind of, because these guys, their time is just so valuable. And sometimes I'm even like, okay, I don't want to ask him this question because what if I look dumb? Stuff like that.
Yeah,
But he's a real estate owner. He owns a firm, and it's actually a worldwide firm. And this guy's like close to a couple $1 billion net worth. Um, and I'm just not at that point yet where, I can own these properties and lease them or stuff like
yeah.
that. So right now I'm just working my way up to that point.
It's hard to give someone like that value, you
Exactly,
know.
like not sure what I could do.
But I feel like it's also good seeing that. It shows you that it's real and that it's achievable.
Definitely. I mean, these guys are, you got to think these guys are also, human beings. Like they're also following up with the same things that you're probably following up. Maybe not the same exact things, but there's a lot of things you could talk about from human to human, person to person, rather than business aside, which a lot of people who like make a lot of money like that, they don't really have a lot of relationships like that where they could really focus on their personal side of things.
Yeah, they probably made business their whole life. So everything's a business relationship. They don't have any
Yeah,
personal.
exactly.
That's kind of smart too. You could provide that's your value that you could provide to them. You don't necessarily have to teach them how to sell another house. You just have to give them an
Yeah.
outlet.
Yeah, pretty much with a lot of people like that, what I'll do, I'll just not check up on them, but maybe like I know they like a certain sports team or something. I'll be like, hey, oh, you watched the game, or like y'all played well, or stuff like that, like on a personal standpoint. And then it'll lead to other things. We'll talk about, family or stuff like that, and then I'll be like, okay, how's business doing?
Mm, that's that's smart. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
um, I have I have one more question for you, and then I'm gonna open it up for like the audience, and they'll come at you with some crazy shit. All right. But
Okay.
do you think you are different than like the average person?
Um, I'll be lying if I said no. In some aspects, yeah, I'm just an average guy. In
Okay.
some other aspects, like I
What
definitely
makes you
feel
special?
like I
What
wouldn't say
makes you
maybe
unique?
special, but I would say that I'm a little more knowledgeable in some spaces, and I always say this, but I don't mean to have an ego at all. I just personally think that I definitely know more in some spaces of life than you do. And there's nothing wrong with that because a lot of other people definitely know more in other stages of life than I do. So an example, like maybe just business side of things or handling money or growing in general. Maybe I know a little more than the average human, yeah, but maybe they know a little more about something else. I'm not sure what it could be. Like I said, every person has that something that they're really good at that obviously I won't have that. And
Yeah.
yeah.
So you feel like what makes you unique is the knowledge you require, you would say?
Yeah, the knowledge, the habits as well. Look, I mean, I don't know. Definitely have fun, like while you're young, for sure. But just know your limits, or maybe make sure you're getting your goals straight while you're doing that at the same time. A lot of people just wasting time in things that have no future value for them. So that's just an
Like
advantage for me.
partying and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would be lying if I said like, yeah, every couple of weekends or so, like I'll go out have some fun, but it's not like yeah, it's not like every day or every weekend kind of thing, or like I don't force it. If I feel like I deserve it, then yeah, of course I'll go.
That, I like that answer though. And you said I that people waste their time on habits that have no future value. I
Yeah,
feel like people don't even think about like the future consequences of their actions at all.
exactly.
Like they just be like, let me waste my time with these things. Let me let me Google.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm just about to dive into the questions the audience has been asking. I got you.
All
Um,
right.
is Shopify or TikTok Shop better right now? I'm assuming for ecom.
Yeah, it kind of depends on the product. Um, Within Shopify, maybe it's a little better because you'll have that website. I don't know if you guys have ever actually like clicked on the TikTok shop, but it kind of looks kind of weird. It's just a product there and then you just kind of buy. But on your Shopify page itself, you can fully customize it to your liking. Depends on the product though. It depends on the product. I would say pretty equal and also don't know the future of TikTok Shop. It's pretty new and it could evolve and it could be better. But as of right now, like having a Shopify site is definitely a lot more optimal.
So it just depends on the product, really.
Yeah, I wish I can give you an answer. I wish because that probably didn't really help people, but I would say if you're starting off, it's pretty good to learn how to build a Shopify store and know what makes a good Shopify store anyway. So I would say just stick to Shopify.
All right. Would you be cool if like people hopped in the VC and asked you questions?
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
All right. First, first I'm gonna do Lenny. Then I got Ian.
All right.
Lenny just hop in.
All right, hello.
What's good,
What's
Lenny?
up, bro?
I was gonna say, did you have any like friends with you along the journey, or is it like just solo? Like,
Starting off, it was kind of solo just because, it was my account. I kind of had followers. Um, but along the journey, you'll notice that some friends are just directed towards the past, which is perfectly fine. Like you can't carry everyone to the top with you, which is something that I did try to do. I've tried to put my friends on stuff, but they're just different people and they just have different goals. So don't force it. Don't force carrying them to the top. If they do have similar mindset to you and they kind of need some help, they do actually have the aspiration to go on and do what you're doing, then yeah, of course, help them, but don't force it.
yeah,
I fuck with that. So how you doing today, Lenny? You chilling?
yeah. I'm just chilling. This is pretty good talk. I didn't know that much came from an OnlyFans agency, and
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. People, I don't know. It's kind of new, so the image of it is kind of different for every person.
Hell yeah. Let me get to the next one. Do you know anything about affiliate marketing
Yeah,
and how
different
do you
ways
feel
to
about
do
it?
affiliate marketing. I know a lot of, so if you guys see those pages on TikTok where it's like Amazon reviews, things like that, they'll review the products and then they'll be like, link in my bio to buy, and it'll be Amazon. So you'll be like, yeah, I'll buy it. And you probably should buy it. Like if you like the product, it's perfectly fine. But they'll just get like a little cut from that. I'm not sure exactly how much. It kind of depends. Maybe I've never tapped into it, but I know that they do get a little cut from it. Affiliate marketing could also have something to do with commission of sales. So, like, maybe a guy is trying to sell his course. I don't know if you guys know Andrew Tate, the pyramid scheme he kind of did, where if he promoted his content and he got views, then you promote your own link. And if it gets a subscriber or something, or they pay through your own link, then you'll get some money off of that. So that's affiliate marketing as well. I
Do
would
you
say
feel
it's a
like it's a
pretty
okay? Go ahead.
yeah, sorry. It's a
You
pretty cost efficient way. Like you really don't have to start from a lot. You're just kind of generating that traffic onto that link. As for like how much money if you could take this to like higher figures, I'm not sure if you could really take it to higher figures, but if you're starting off from zero, then it's definitely something you could tap into. It'll be kind of hard. Everything has its pros and cons, but it works.
okay? I'm gonna get to this next question. It's a little long. I'm gonna just read it out. We can go.
Okay.
So Ian says, "I'm a 14 14-year-old sophomore in high school, and for what I'm listening to, this dude is mad smart. He got all the hustles, all the knowledge, and other stuff that not a lot of people have. I don't want to spend too much time on the grind since I got school to worry about. What is the best thing to do at my age to make bread?
Your age, damn, 14. Damn. Wish I can go back to being 14, man. Well, you're in the summertime, so whether like you want to do that stuff where I know a lot of young people do, door to door kind of thing. You go or like, I'll do your weeds, I'll mow your lawn, something like that. I mean, you're in the summer, man. Don't really got a lot to do in the summer at 14. Trust me. You do have some time to spend. If you do want to look into like a high income kind of skill, something to do at 14, maybe learning what makes a good piece of content. Maybe you want to be a creator. Maybe there's something within you, because I obviously don't know you as a person, but maybe there's something that you like. Maybe it could be sports, it could be games, it could be something like that. Trust me, if I can go back to 14, I wish I could navigate my entire process, because if I was at this point, I feel like I'd have a decent chunk of subscribers and audience.
If you were 14, if you could go back to 14 with all the knowledge you know right now, what is the hustle you would do?
With all the knowledge I've had, right? Well, you obviously can't do OnlyFans because you have to be 18 to do that. So it would probably be ecom, and
So drop shipping, right?
under ecom, if you want to do ecom and you're at zero, you can do the organic way, which maybe you've heard of, which is pretty much just posting TikToks on there and you're just selling it either through TikTok shop or through the link in your bio. You can do that. I would say that a lot of people actually don't do as well as they would expect, because you might get a lot of views, but it doesn't really turn into conversions, which would be the sales. That would be good to do. And if you do that and you fail, just make sure that you're really gaining that knowledge of your failures and you're looking at, okay, maybe why didn't this do good? Maybe I had a shit creative, or maybe this is good, or maybe my website is bad, or something that you could learn from in the future.
All right, so Ian, focus on ecom. Focus
Okay,
on
if I was 14, like find something that interests you.
Yeah, no,
Because I
that's facts.
find something that interests you and just go for it. You got all the time. And then during the school year, if you still want to make this money and you haven't automated it to the point where you like still need to spend a lot of time on it, if you're during the school year doing that, I don't know, man. You can maybe get a job. You can
He said,
maybe
the dude who
door to
asked the
door.
question, he said,
Mhm.
I want to do drop shipping, but I don't know. I've seen it's a big flop. Do you feel like drop shipping is like dead or oversaturated?
The business model itself of drop shipping, everyone kind of knows it. So in that sense, it might be saturated. But from you selling a product to a person, like that's obviously never going to be saturated. Online sales are still going to boom. Um, since I've said it is really seasonal, the time being, like to this day, July 1st, there's really not a lot of products that you can base around. So there's not holidays, not even buying urgency. You might even see as yourself that you're not buying as much, of course, compared to like those Cyber Monday, Black Friday kind of days where you're going to be spending a lot of money.
Yeah,
Maybe right now it's not the best time statistically, but it's still a business model that does work.
yeah. I'll be saying like the best time to start was yesterday. Like,
Yeah, you learn this, and in Q4, you'll be making so much money.
I'm about to invite the next dude for the question. Yeah, Baldo just joined the like, what's good, bro?
Yo,
What's good?
So, bro.
so how did you get your connections and like your following when you started, like having those certain connections to help you with your business?
Yeah. It's pretty it's definitely gotten a lot easier since I started, so even just through chatting in on like this Discord server itself, go in and say I do ecom, or what have you guys been up to money wise lately, and then you take that into your DMs and you network from there. Or maybe it's like a different niche that you're in. So like for me and OnlyFans, a lot of the groups or a lot of the places where people talk about themselves, it's in Telegram. I don't know if you know Telegram. It's just an app where you can chat
Yeah.
around. They're also always in these Telegram chats, always asking questions, always like needing some game. So kind of depends, but definitely it's been a lot easier. Like you could even make a TikTok account, view process your journey, and people will DM you and you'll become friends with them, things like that.
Yeah. Last summer when I was a sophomore, I started sneaker reselling, and at first, like, I started doing well, and then it went downhill after summer because like everyone else started getting their pairs, and then like, how did you like? Did you ever have that like? Yeah, you got a downfall and then you fix yourself up. Like, how
Yeah.
did you do that?
I mean, that's kind of just the way of life where not everything is going to be consistent slope of success. You're going to have that roller coaster kind of graph where things will do well, things won't do well. It's just important that whenever you see that things don't do well, that you're really trying to analyze like why is it doing well. And maybe if you can't do that, then you branch out towards your network, or not your network, your connections and your friends, and you'll be like, okay, from your point of view, why is this not working, or what can I do? Things like that. But yeah, you're always gonna have things like that that'll happen, and it's normal. It sucks, but it's normal.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like the best way to realize it is to like look at a stock chart. Like it's not a straight line. It's up and down and up and down and up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you get past your competitors? Because in my area, I have a lot of competitors when it comes to sneaker reselling. It.
As for sneakers, since I'm not too educated in the space, maybe one thing you could do, as I've said with your offer, maybe either you provide free shipping like that, or maybe even have like, I don't know if they do this in sneaker reselling, but you could add like insurance or warranty or something like
For
um
for the reseller, I would say the
yeah.
best way to stand out from your competitors is to be better than them in every aspect. Like have better customer service, have better packaging, have better photos, have better sneakers, cleaner shoes, to just be better than your competitors in every aspect. So when they purchase from you, it's a no brainer to go back to you. Like, why the
Yeah.
fuck would I buy from this person who's doing all this shit wrong when I could buy from this person who's doing everything right?
As a customer, I would say that out of everything Jeremy just said, as a customer service is probably the most important thing. Like, make sure you're replying to them fast, make sure you're being professional about it, make sure you're shipping out next day or something. Just put it in that customer service, because they're definitely going to come back to you if they want to buy something else that they like from you.
Yeah, yeah. The faster you respond to them, the faster they will buy. Like if you take like 1 minute, like 10 seconds to respond, they're gonna buy right away. If you take 2 days to respond, they will never buy from you. Like,
Yeah,
I appreciate it much.
yeah, appreciate you
for
stopping
sure.
by, bro. The next one is that boy We Caress Kids, which is a wild username, but
Hello,
uh,
you hear me?
What's up, bro?
yeah, Mike
All right,
sounds perfect.
I'll make it on this. One second. There. All right.
You good?
How y'all boys doing today?
Good.
Chilling, bro, chilling.
All right, that's what's up. I got a few questions about e-commerce and about your OnlyFans agency.
Sure.
First I'll just start off with the OnlyFans agency. I was wondering, do you have like a top earner for that?
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely some models that do better than other models. Now, as I've said, whenever I was talking about ecom, like it's pretty easy to see like why these girls are doing better than other girls. Maybe it's your sort of traffic, your marketing, um, things like that. But yeah, for sure, there's definitely certain girls that do better than other girls.
And what do you feel determines that?
It could be a lot of things. So when I was talking about ecom, and I just keep going back to ecom because a lot of these principles in ecom apply to like your everyday life. So
Hell yeah.
I was talking about it and I was saying that your product is more than anything, more than your marketing, more than anything. So whenever I have like a 10 out of 10 girl, that's gonna, get more of an attraction and more sales than 7. Kind of sounds fucked up to say, but it's true. And that's one variable that might advantage yourself from competitors or just earnings itself.
Mm. And do you feel like there's just not going off their looks, but do you feel like it's anything that they do that has like success, and do you try to replicate that with your other agents, should I say?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely the quality of content. So maybe like I have one girl who kind of takes pictures in the same setting, always in the same mirror, always in the same room, always has music behind her video, stuff like that. And then I'll have this other girl, okay, perfect lighting. Maybe she even does some stuff like in different settings, making her room look nice, getting the angles right, things like that. Now, like it's funny to talk about, but it goes a long way. Like how Jeremy was saying with shoes, want to make sure those pictures look good. Like it's kind of like this. Like you want to make sure that quality is really good.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
And also for e-commerce, I was wondering, how does that schedule work? Because I have a friend, he does e-commerce, and like I know he said some crazy stuff, like he had a meeting at like 5, 6 a.m. in the morning. Like how does that work for you?
If it was that early, it's probably because he might have been talking to like a supplier, which most of your suppliers is going to be like overseas and like Asia. So yeah, you might have to get those early meetings. With e-commerce, it's like half the amount of work that I have to do with OnlyFans. So really, all I'm making sure ads are running properly, and if they're not running properly, then I'm seeing what's wrong with it, and then I'll just go and fix that. And maybe some days, yeah, it'll take a little longer because the problem I have to fix takes a while, but it's kind of like a different thing every day, but it doesn't take up too much of my time, like where you have to be on your computer for hours and hours a day.
Hmm. And now these places are moving more towards the e-commerce. How long do you sit on a product? Do you like try to just drive like one main product at a time, or do you try to drive multiple products at a time?
Yeah, that's a good question. As of right now, the kind of strategy that I'm moving towards is doing singular products. And after a couple of days of tests, after a couple of days of spending money, getting those metrics to see what's doing good and what's doing wrong, I'll try and fix things based off of those metrics. And if those things still don't work after that, then I know it's just my product and I'm just going to move on. If it does work and I do start to scale and I start increasing the budget, what I'll do is I'll find similar products I know I could upsell with, and then I'll add them towards my store. I'll include a better offer and things like that. Because then at that point, I already know the winner. Now I just have to build around it.
Mm. And what's the longest you sat on a product for?
Up to like 6 or 7 months. Um,
Mm.
Yeah, it was just a really good product and it was actually the mug. It was a really good product that even after Christmas, I said that it was mainly a Christmas product, but I just shifted it towards other holidays as well. So Valentine's Day came up and I pretty much did the same thing, but I switched the creative up for like a boyfriend and a girlfriend kind of thing. That did well. And then I did the same thing for Mother's and Father's Day, and that did well. So it's all about just adapting to trends, time of year, things like that. But yeah, it was about 6 to 7 months where it kept doing really good.
That's nice. And also, my bad, I got a lot of questions.
No, it's okay. It's
Good,
okay.
buddy. They all good questions.
What do you feel like is your best target audience, like children or adults?
Kind of hard to say because it really depends on the product. So whenever you pick out a product and you want to test it, you're pretty much already immediately going to sell towards this sort of demographic or this age group. But whenever I am actually running the ad, I'm not limiting my age group at all. Sometimes I do only target 18 plus depending on the product, but I'm
Yeah.
usually not limiting anything.
All right. My bad, I had a question and it flew out of my head. I was locked in on listening to you.
It's all right.
Give me a moment. I'm gonna try to remember. If I can't, I'll just leave and probably type it in the chat.
All right, bro. Sounds good.
Darn it. Yeah, I'll head out. I'll probably type it in the chat. But thank you for answering my questions. I appreciate it.
Yeah, bro. Of course.
Thank you
Gotcha.
for stopping by, bro.
No problem. It's always a nice time. You guys have a great one.
You too.
You too, bro.
This next question is from Lenny. You know, he was the first one out there. It's when you're drop shipping and promoting your product, how much do ads take in to selling the product? Is it a major part? Would you still be able to make good sales without ads?
Is he talking about like the creative itself? I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, like say I'm pretty sure like media buying. Like say you're promoting your product using paid ads.
Yeah.
Is that a major part of getting sales?
Yeah, definitely. Whenever you're testing the product and you're testing it, you're kind of already knowing that it's a winner and you're just making sure that it. So I know what a lot of people do is how they do their product research is they'll look at other ads that are doing well and they'll put in certain criteria so that they know that this ad is doing well. So I'm going to steal that product from them. That's really what they do. They steal products that are already working and they'll also steal their ads. So if that ad is working for them, chances are it's going to work for you. So that's what they'll do. And if that creative isn't doing well, let's say it doesn't do well, I'd say like 75% of the time you drop the product. But then the other part is maybe you have that extra budget or you know that this product is a winner and you'll go and get custom creatives. But yes, I would say that the creative itself definitely is the second most important thing apart from your product and offer. It's your creative, it's the structure of your creative, it's how you reinstate that offer in your creative, it's how you showcase the product in that creative, the features of the product, the problem that it solves, stuff like that. It really is important. That's why I tell people go learn what makes a good creative because it'll help you out.
Yeah. Do you think you would still be able to make good sales without any ads?
Any ads?
Yeah,
The
like
main reason
zero ads.
why, yeah, the main reason why we do run paid ads is that we ensure that we will get that amount of traffic towards that product so that we can see if it's working or not. But zero and you're doing organic, the thing is that it might be for you to get some views, doing well, and then the rest are really bad. That's just kind of the risk that you're taking, which is nothing wrong with that, but it's just going to be a little harder to do than running paid ads where you kind of know like what you're getting with paid ads.
Yeah. I like that response. This next question, they taking up this format too. It's crazy, but it's I'm I'm 15 in high school and just started reselling shoes as a side hustle. I feel like this will help my negotiation and business skills. What would you recommend I should do as I get older?
Depending on if this is doing well for you or not, I would say focus on this because you're already familiar with selling shoes. You know, you want to keep scaling this up to the point to where honestly, like to make as much money as you can, like stack your bread up until you feel like you want to move forward into something or something that interests you. And if you have a good amount of money, which I would say you could resell shoes to like some pretty decent figures. Like I'm talking like 10,
Oh
20K.
yeah,
Like you
yeah,
could
for sure.
definitely do that. So stack your bread up right now. Keep working, bro.
The most I've ever like talked to someone who makes the most selling shoes. He was doing 25K a month,
Damn.
which I was like, shit, like profit too, because the margins
Yeah.
of shoes are terrible. He was probably selling like 200K worth of shoes, like
Yeah.
this is fucking wild, bro.
And the thing is with a lot of young hustlers, this is where I'm talking about it again, but find that thing that's gonna drive you because a lot of people just quit
Yeah,
if they're doing something that they're not really interested in. So if you like reselling shoes, and bro, keep doing it, man. Keep doing it.
yeah, I have to agree like completely with that, because like sure you can go out, you can clean trash cans for a living, but if you don't want to do that, you're not gonna get up and do it. If you
Yeah,
like selling shoes,
exactly.
you're gonna get up every morning and go get that fucking bag.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting into the next question. It's the same format as the last one.
That's all right.
Um, I'm 16 and I've been reselling sneakers for about 2 to 3 months. I also do detailing vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do people around my neighborhood and charge if I have to go to you. And I wanted to know, I'm making around 1.5 to 2K a month. Is that pretty good for his age? He's 16 at the moment.
For 16, yeah, bro. If it's something again that you're interested in, because a lot of people around your age starting getting a job, maybe they work in LA, and I bet they hate that shit. I
Yeah,
bet they
yeah,
hate it. So if it's something you learn about different aspects of business and your um, know what it takes to keep a customer around, things like that. Yeah, keep it going, bro. I have a friend who really scaled up his detailing business. I'm gonna go back to it. Is because he made his offer really well. I think his offer was he had like three packages. One was like only an exterior, one of them was exterior and interior, and then the third one was like a deluxe. Like he made the third one look really, really good. Like like they
yeah,
almost had to buy it. So he did that. Make your offer really good. Make sure you're keeping care of your customers because they'll go back to you for sure. Maybe if there's something you want to do, like outside of car detailing, maybe they have, you notice they have like a fucked up lawn or something. Be like, okay, I do your lawn for like an added. You could even tax them because they'll see that they have a fucked up lawn and they'll probably say yeah. So just little things like that goes a long way, bro.
Um, the next question is about ecom. It's asking, do you use like Google Trends to research products?
As for like researching, not really, but if I see a product that I'm testing and I want to like ensure that it really is doing well. Yeah, I'll go on Google Trends. I'll see. Yeah, it's got a it's doing well, and then sorry, but
You good?
I'll ensure that it's doing well. Another thing you could do is even if Google Trends doesn't give you the answer that you kind of want, go on Amazon. You search up your products and you go on the reviews. And if the reviews on that Amazon product are good, then that ensures that your product is good. If the reviews on Amazon product are bad, then it's kind of risky to sell it, but it kind of depends on the product.
Yeah, yeah. If anyone has any final questions, just drop them. Other than that, we chill. Actually, I got one more question for you.
Hmm.
You asked me this. This.
Yeah,
What's some books you would recommend? Like, what are your favorite books?
I'm gonna go grab my book collection. You guys give me 30 seconds, all right?
Take your time, bro. For everyone listening, drop your final questions. Like, just go crazy. Ask anything you would want to know. What should I do if a local person flakes on me after I mark the product gold? Um, Repost the product.
All right, so I've got around say like 6 or 7 books here. I'm gonna give like a really, really brief explanation for each one of them. So first one I got 48 Power. It's got a lot of mixed reviews. Some people might say this book is kind of outdated, or some people might say that the principles in this book don't really apply to today's world, or maybe they're just like not really said that well. What you can learn from this book though is it kind of teaches you how to get the most out of a lot of people or out of a lot of situations. I'm pretty sure you could also like find this on the internet, maybe even 48 Laws of Power. I would give this like a solid like 7 out of 10 though. It definitely opened my eye to a lot of things.
What's the biggest thing you learned from it? Like, if you could pull something out, like what's something you use every day, like more often?
I learned let me actually find the chapter. I think it was chapter 11. It says learn to keep people dependent on you. And I pretty much learned how to kind of like you know, you have these relationships, but how do you keep these relationships lasting? And especially the important relationships, like, you know, your childhood friends, your family, or just people that you kind of want to stick around. You learn how to continue this relationship with them, how to get people to really like you. To be honest, I have a better book for that, but it's kind of manipulating in a way.
Yeah, no, I read that book too.
Yeah, I like it. Next one. It's one that I read recently. The Millionaire Fast Lane by MJ DeMarco. This is kind of a book where I pretty much read because the title was appealing. I heard good reviews about it, and it kind of applies to things that I want to do. Obviously, everyone wants to get rich quick, so this is a book that I read, and it teaches you about more about investing, about like how to make your or how do I word this? Just kind of get the best out of your investments in a short period of time. You know, you don't want to be having these investments where I know a lot of people talk about Roth IRAs and how they can make you like $1 million, but you're gonna have $1 million
bro.
60 years old. Like, what are you gonna do with that at that age? So, yeah, Millionaire Fastlane. It's pretty good. It's a lot of more like stories about people who like invested whenever they were older or did things and they regret it. And it teaches you how to use your time efficiently at a young age, study your money.
I'll look into that one too.
Another popular one, habits.
You said
Something that if
Atomic
I was,
Habits?
yeah, this is something that if I was like 14, 15, 16, around that age, I would read this. I mean, it kind of just teaches you like how to stay on top of your shit. Teaches you some principles on how you can find some consistency within yourself. Like, I know a lot of you guys probably have a lot of things you want to do, and it's kind of overwhelming to the point you don't really know where to start. It really teaches you like even the really, really simple things will go a long way. So Atomic Habits I do recommend for sure.
I've heard a lot
Young
of people
people.
mention that.
Yeah, it's definitely one that I bought just because a lot of people mention it, and I mean, it is valid. It is valid for sure.
Yeah, that's what I did for the 4-hour work week. Like, I'm like, I heard so many people mention this shit. Let me just check it out.
Another good one, if I was a younger guy, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Another popular one, but I definitely recommend it. I definitely recommend it. Teaches you how to efficiently talk to people. Again, on how to create. A little bit manipulating for sure. Kind of teaches you like how to get like maybe people that you wouldn't even have you could talk to, but how to actually like talk to them and provide some value.
What's your favorite part of that book? Because let me pull mine up. Right? You say yours first, then I'm over mine. 'Cause
It's
this was
more
bad.
of it's more of the manipulating one.
Be
Oh,
honest,
maybe
you
that's
know.
just like the kind of person I am. I don't know. But I think it was like one of the chapters about like what everyone desires, and it's that like self-appreciation that like everyone desires that about it often.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you like catch them on a day where you point out something a part of them, like maybe you like their fit or something. They'll just be like, hey, and you say their name, then you're like, I like your fit. And that's all you gotta say. It goes a long way. Do that within business as well. How you keep those clients, just keeping them on your side. That's really all it is. What's yours?
Um, my favorite part about it, I'm, I'm looking through it. The whole book's valid. But the whole book is
Yeah, for
the.
sure.
I would say the biggest thing is don't complain. Like,
That's a good one.
like, like the more you fucking complain, the more people look at you and don't even want to talk to you because they'll be like, "Oh, he's gonna say something negative. He's gonna
That's a
remind
good
me of this
one.
negative." The more you complain, the less people want to be around you. The more you talk about like good shit, the more you talk about game, the more you give out honest, sincere appreciation, the more they like you, the more they want to be around you because you uplift them. You don't just bring them down.
Exactly.
I
That's
might
a
reread
really
this book. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah. I probably need to do that too. One
What mic do you
recently.
have?
I heard a lot of people talking about that. Let
What
me go
mic
on
do you
Discord real quick. It's honestly like a kind of cheap mic. It's called HyperX Solo Cast. I'm gonna type it in the chat.
HyperX Solo Cat. Hey, nah, that shit sound good too.
Yeah. I even
How's my
use it when
mic
I'm
sound?
playing games. Sounds like decent. Like nothing. Like you want me to be honest? It's kind of stitchy.
I got you. I got you. They just some AirPods. Let's
Uh,
get some
makes sense. Makes sense.
especially
I'll
I be talking. So I do need some loose.
send Amazon link. Don't worry, I'm not Amazon affiliate.
Yeah, no,
Just
he trying to get
pure.
that affiliate commission.
Yeah, pretty good standard mic.
Money, but I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
That's a tax write-off too. But if anyone has any questions, go ahead. If not, we probably good. Man.
I think this got set. No, I don't do anything to change my mic standard settings, standard everything. A low point. Have I ever had a low point in my career? Probably whenever I was just starting off with ecom, and I was past the part where I kind of know ecom, I know how it works. Now I just have to get that like first actual successful store.
Mm,
And I was like, okay, I literally have no. I like am at rock bottom. Maybe not rock bottom, but I just had nothing. So I was like, how do I get income? So first thing I did, I stacked up all my cash from like previous birthdays, previous like anything that I had. I had like $500, maybe even a little less than that in total. And I started it from there, and I lost all 500 easily within like the first couple of days. And I had to get up from there. I was even negative, and it was also at a point where like I'd asked my mom, I was like, $100. And I was like, all right, nice, I got this $100, and I wasted that. So I had to get a job. I worked at Chick-fil-A. I think I was like 15. Chick-fil-A actually starts hiring like really young.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like
Chick-fil-A a decent
15.
job too. I love free food.
Yeah, 15. I think it was during the summer though. I did it and stacked my bread. It was probably one of the hardest things, honestly, to stack my bread at that young age because I never had as much money in the bank account, like a couple $1,000s when I was like 15, just off of working. I was like, bro, like I gotta go buy some new shoes or something with this. And I
Yeah.
was like, really maintained that. So that was hard. And then whenever I started trading, like maybe a year after that, I had a $2,000 account blown the first day.
The first day?
Very first day. I got sucked into the trading image about how easy it is, options,
What
and
market?
I bought a call. I think it was
Oh, it was options.
yeah, options. I think it was I want to say Boeing, BA. It was Boeing. I bought a call and I lost it all. And guys, if you're gonna get into trading, paper trade, get educated
Yeah. Now
for sure.
you didn't do a demo account. You just hopped
I
in.
didn't, bro. I just hopped in. Yeah,
Hey.
obviously that was really dumb of me, but that was probably a low point. Seeing my money fall like that, and literally, you guys know how it fell in like 5 seconds.
Yeah. No, that is tough. Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
I thought it was rock bottom there.
What you learn from that? Like, what you
I
learn from that?
learned definitely risk management, one, within trading. Two, that anything you see online or maybe anything you see that makes you a lot of money, like 100% have to get educated in before you go
Yeah.
into it. Yeah, I mean, those two were tough. I mean, people probably had tougher problems than me, honestly, but just in my experience, like that was like
No, 'cause for most of the
that was
people
tough.
watching this, bro, like 2K probably a little, like probably their net worth. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Like, damn, bro. Hey, you up now though? Like, tell you shit.
Yeah, yeah. Even like now, like obviously I was telling that I just didn't slope up and down. Like I had like an OnlyFans account, like a Twitter account that was doing really well for band. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, bro, that's one of my main sources of traffic and pretty stressful, but those are just things that happen.
yeah, it's just something to solve.
Yeah.
What made you become an OnlyFans though?
It wasn't the actual like passion towards OnlyFans. No, it wasn't any of that. Like none of that. It was just more of a I saw a video, I saw the potential in this, I saw profit margins were, and I saw the fact that yeah, maybe it did look kind of, and I was like, I can make this work. And I did that and it's just been going good from there.